We are live again. Let me see if I can invite Marjorie. Give me 1 second. Okay, that works. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, depending on where you are. If you're in the Middle East, it's evening. If you're in the US, good morning. Hey! Oh, wow!
Hello.
You look beautiful.
So do you.
What
How are
happened?
you?
Did you go to a party?
Oh no, no. You want to know the truth?
Yeah, of course,
I have.
always.
I haven't had time to color my gray hair, and so I'm using this bandana to cover up my gray.
I always I always say that there's glitter growing out of my head.
Oh, my head is actually it's full gray since I was about 30 years old. Full gray.
Oh wow.
It's the side
Yeah.
effect of the medications that I was on. I went for many GAs. So
Ah, for me
you
it
look nice. Is that a dress?
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
nice.
it is actually my stay home dress
Wow.
cuz I thought I'm not going out.
Fancy.
No, not really. I'm going to do some crafty things later on. So I
Nice.
figured I'm not going out. I'm okay inside. Actually, for the I didn't even go out yesterday.
Oh, you didn't?
No, it was King's Day, and I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? I don't care. It's Queen's Day here. I'm the queen. I'm staying home.
Nice.
I thought that's also a way of self care, right?
Of course. Yeah. Do what you feel like.
Yeah, so I thought let's cut the crap and let's do what I want.
And not follow the crowd, right?
On the other hand, later in the day, I thought, oh, maybe I should have gone out for a little while, and then it was too late already. And I thought, no, I decided to do this, so I decided to do that. That's it.
Yeah. And
So
that's
yeah,
perfectly fine.
it is. And actually, the weather is kind of nice. My mom said yesterday it was cold though, in the morning, but it looks really nice now.
Oh, lovely.
So,
Nice spring
um,
in the air.
yeah, unfortunately, it's not the same as it is with you because the weather with you is much better.
No, not really. It's pretty warm here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty warm. We're talking about 33, 34.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really hot. So it's not the kind of weather where you can go and lie down on the grass in the sun. No, that's in I think in the mid 20s or something. That's
Yeah.
nice. Over here,
Yeah.
you'll be
Well,
roasting yourself.
right. It's
Hmm.
like yeah. Never mind.
It's also
Anyway,
really
let's
humid.
What are we gonna do today?
We're gonna cut the bullshit, cut the crap, cut
Cut
the
the
bullshit.
crap. So
Straight to
what
the
does that
point.
mean?
Stop making excuses for yourself before you even try.
Uh
We've all been there, right?
huh.
I want to do this, but
I still do it every now and then.
oh,
But
it's
I learned over the years that everything that you put behind the word but, you can just leave it
yeah.
out.
You don't have to have the but there at all.
No,
Yeah.
it's it is like what they said in the movie. Either you do it or you don't, but there is no try.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to decide whether or not how your life is gonna go and how um, you are gonna respond to certain things. But there's the but. We are so used to the word but that we always have something that holds us back.
Hmm.
And I think the only thing that is holding us back is we
Ourselves.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah. We
I'm
stop
holding
ourselves.
myself back. Yeah, I mean, um, how do you say that? Well, how does that work for you, for example? Are you aware when you do it, or don't you do it anymore?
Oh, yes, I still do it. I get that with a lot with food because I love my food, right? So, uh, I mean, I'm a pescatarian, okay? So I
What?
only eat a pescatarian.
What is that?
So I only take seafood. I don't take meat.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not by choice. It's more that I mean, I love my meat, yeah. Oh, my bacons, oh my God. But my body rejected it. Rejected
Oh.
meat, rejected meat, rejected alcohol. And so it came to a point in my life where I was, this is exactly what happened. I woke up in the morning, I made my coffee and I took out some bacon strips and I was going to put it on the stove. And then I felt nauseous and I was like, whoa, what is this?
Hmm.
Then I still fried and all, but took a few bites, puked everything out. And then that happened with with beef, with chicken, with lamb. And so I thought to myself, holy moly, what is going on here? And then I realized it was just my body. I started asking around, and they're like, oh, yeah, your body can just reject what it doesn't
Oh.
want. Yeah, that's how intelligent our body is that we don't realize again. And so
Huh.
I said, damn it, I wish I knew because I would have eaten all the meat that I wanted to before I went on this diet. So yeah, and then I tried prawns and then oh, that was okay. And then I tried some fish. Oh, fish is okay. And then I tried squid. Squid is okay. So then I stuck to that. And then down the line again, I tried a little bit of chicken again. No, it turned out bad again. My whole body just went into a shutdown. And we're talking like a really small piece of chicken.
So maybe you're a mermaid.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell I am. I know I'm a mixture of everything.
But so how does that work out? I mean,
So,
do,
so the
yeah,
only pleasure I get is it's the same with alcohol and it's the same with my smoking and all. My body just rejected it, right?
right.
So the only pleasure I have now is food. So I always tell myself, oh, I'm going to eat healthy and da 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 da. But then I'll be having like pasta for lunch and for dinner kind of thing. And then I'll say like, but you know what? It's the weekend, so it's fine.
Fine.
We
Sorry.
we convince ourselves otherwise, and then when it comes to Monday again, and then you feel a bit like like a bit sluggish when you want to work out again, and then you're like, damn, that pasta's over the weekend, and it's bad, but then you still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I
I tell
have the same.
myself, you know what? No more that again. No more pastas and all. I mean, I can have pastas, but not 2 meals in a day of pastas. And then, it repeats itself again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know what is good and what is bad for us.
Yeah.
We know we give ourselves crap. We talk ourselves into bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, but
So,
yeah, but you're talking about food now, for example.
yeah,
And
in my case, it's a lot to
yeah,
do with food. Yeah.
yeah. And in my case it is food and so because food you are mo- well somewhat aware of, I guess. But if you there are a lot of people, including me before, doing things that I wasn't aware of that I was doing, which were holding me back.
Oh, yeah, that too, definitely.
For example, what I think we spoke about earlier in the week when we decided to do this topic, I think we spoke about that some people just have the excuse to say, yeah, but that's the way I was born, or that is how I'm doing this, or that's just who I am. That is
Oh.
bullshit.
Or I don't have the resources, or
Yeah,
um, that's how my parents taught me, or that's how I was
I
raised,
can
or
do this.
yeah, and there's a lot of things that comes in the way with our conditioning and our programming. But the first
Yeah,
step is to acknowledge and to say that, hey, look, maybe what if I try something different? Because you cannot expect different results with doing the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you do what you always did, you will get what you always got. If you want something
exactly. You're
different,
going to get the same results.
exactly. So
I've
if you
seen
want to
a lot
have,
of people make that mistake, right? They just continue to say, oh, you know what, maybe I'll do it a bit more harder, or, maybe I'm going to try more
yeah.
in this way, but it
And oh,
doesn't.
Frank, there's someone responding. Frank Brink. He's a comedian as well. Hey, Frank.
Oh, hi,
He's
Frank. I don't have the resources to smoke.
he
Ah,
doesn't
that's
even
a good
smoke.
one, though.
He
That
doesn't
is a good one,
smoke.
though. Yeah, you don't want to have the resources to smoke. You don't want to
Yeah, I
smoke.
think that's the comedian in him. He's making a joke. Hey, Frank, if you want to smoke, don't worry. I will bring you something next time I see you.
Hey, count me in too.
Yeah, if I can help you into bad habits. I mean, if I can make you cut it out, I can also help you get them. Same thing.
No, but that is the number one excuse. Oh, but I don't have the finances. Oh, but I don't have this. Oh, but I don't have that. Before you even try, you're already putting a but in there. You are blocking your own
Yeah,
self, you know?
because and you are not even aware that you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think I've been taught over the years with all the self-development, there is never a lack of
Resources.
finances.
Yeah,
There's
resources is never
always
a
a
lack.
lack of creativity. That's the only lack you've
Yeah,
got.
yeah, exactly.
Because if you really want to do something, you can make it happen. And I remember that I was talking to someone, and he said, "Yeah, but your dad did this and did that. He was really lucky. He did all these entrepreneurial things because my dad was an entrepreneur, and he was working for a boss." And he said to me, he said, and blah blah blah. So he, I said, "Well, you could have done this exact same thing." No, I couldn't, blah, blah, blah. I said, why not? I said, that's the difference. You chose to work from 9 till 4. So you would go home at 4 o'clock. You just close the door behind you. You go home, have a beer, sit on the couch, I don't know, that's your way of having fun, and then go to bed and the same day starts over again. The difference is my dad gets up at 6 a.m., starts working, and works until maybe midnight sometimes, depending on, but my dad was always working, especially when we were young. He was always working because he wanted to make something of his life. He wanted to create something bigger. And because he worked so hard, and well, some people call it luck, and I think sometimes hard work beats talent because it's a combination and my dad was really gifted in some things, but he wasn't really educated because that generation didn't go to school for very long. They didn't do studies as what we do now these days. But he made it work. So if he could do it, someone else can do it too. But only they choose not to.
I mean, you see, exactly my point where I was trying to say that the resources today that we have is more than ever before. So all
Exactly.
the more now, there is no excuse that you can't do it, because everything is available online now, and there's so many things that are available for free, you know.
Exactly.
And so we have an abundance of resources in today's time, and it's exactly the best time to be alive now, the best time to chase your goals and dreams, because we've never experienced technology the way we are
Yeah.
today.
It depends on what your goals are, of course. I mean, if you wanna,
Exactly.
if you wanna, but people often forget, and there's a difference of meaning of the word success as well, because success can either mean, for someone it means when you reach the goal. For someone else, it may mean the journey to go towards the goal.
For me, it's the person that I'm becoming, the
Yeah,
journey. The goal is easy to reach because we all are so powerful in that way that to get to the goal, you can either do it the right way or the shortcut way, right?
yeah,
But it's the person that you become along the way, that journey that gets
exactly.
you to that goal. Yeah. And it's like, I want that. What do I need to become to have that? That's the question we
Yeah,
need to ask ourselves. And also, the second one is the why. A lot of people put this but in is because their why is not big enough.
yeah.
They're just too comfortable. Everyone now is
Well,
so comfortable with things the way it is, and you want something, but then you don't go after it because your why is not big enough.
yeah, but how does it work? For example, okay, I can share this story that I told you this week that um I was, how do I put it? I was quite upset about it, and it's still very recent, but I'm aware that I'm in control, because this is also giving away, a form of giving away your control.
Your
Because I met
power.
someone, yeah, I met someone, I trusted him, and I thought there was a possibility that it might work out into something good. Um, but instead, he was not truthful to me. He actually, I think, looking back, he may even lied, and it was really painful because I never asked him to contact me again, because it's been happening over again. So I never asked him for to contact me, and he did that. And he said to me at some point, he knew I was hurt before, and he thought that was really bad. Blah blah blah. Bullshit. 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 He was even worse because he knew, and he did the exact same thing. And I was quite upset, and I think I was talking to you when I said it is my own fault, because I knew deep inside, I probably knew. I mean, my gut feeling said something is off, but I don't know what it is. And I didn't listen, and because I didn't listen, I let it go on too long. With the end that I think that maybe he was not the one that hurt me, but I was.
You hurt your own self.
Yeah, because I should have stand I if I would have stood up for myself and would have said, "No, this is not going to happen. You're not treating me well enough." Because I mean, if you get to know someone and you really like someone, you want to get to know them. You want to be around them or talk to them or send them messages, or I don't care. There are 100 ways to do whatever you want to do to let someone know that you like them. And he wasn't doing one of them.
No, Sandra, but first I want to share this beautiful quote that came to my mind as you were talking about being lied to and all. I think it was Warren Buffett who said that honesty is a very expensive gift.
Yes,
Do not expect it from
from
cheap
cheap
people.
people.
I thought that was a brilliant quote, and I don't know why that came to mind when you were just
Yeah,
telling your story. And the second thing I have to applaud you is that I love it because you put the blame on yourself. You didn't blame the other
Oh,
person.
I
And
did.
that is already a level up. No, but after that, you realized, right? And you went like, no, but I allowed it.
Yeah, but I still think it's an asshole.
I mean, yeah, that is besides the point. But you see your, because
Yeah,
we can only look
I
after
cannot change
ourselves.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I cannot change him. I can only change the way I look at it. And I don't want to be I want to be in the driver's seat from now on. And you know what? I think we talked about it, and I deserve much better. I deserve someone that at least, and that's what I also said, I want someone that wants to be with me just as much as I want to be with them. Either way, if it's in a relationship, friendship, I don't care. But it needs to be an equal thing, because if it's not good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, that goes, I mean, that's again about balance, right?
Yeah.
And reciprocity. But it's amazing because on my platform as well, I always talk about looking at ourselves, and what we see around us. It's just the mirrors that are pointing back to what we need to work on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for you to
Exactly.
really come to that point and say, hey, you know what? I knew deep down inside that I allowed it to happen. I knew it was going to repeat itself again. I knew. See, we all know, but we just sometimes choose to ignore our intuition as well,
Yeah.
right? And with this but thing again, that is the ego. And that is actually, you know what, Sandra? That is that is just the ego doing its job, because the ego is there to
Protect
protect us.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we want to go for our goals and our dreams, it's something that is out of our comfort zone. The ego is going to step in and say, hey, hang on a minute, we are not getting out of this comfort zone because it's not safe. That's how the brain works.
Yeah. And I learned myself over time that when that happened, when I finally realized that was happening, I learned to kind of, it sounds really weird because it's as if you're talking to yourself. And then when my ego get kicks in and I become aware of it, I will say, okay, ego, thank you so much for being there and protecting me.
Mm, yeah.
But I can do it myself right now because I want to grow. It's okay if I fall. It doesn't really matter. So I kind of talk to my ego in a loving way. To It sounds really weird while I'm telling it, but it works for me. It
Yeah,
works
that's again self-love, right?
because
We
then I
don't
say,
shut things down, but
yeah.
we negotiate, we talk to ourselves, we connect with ourselves.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
then
it
I
is.
think, okay, and then suddenly, the fear, because most of the time we hold back because of fear, suddenly isn't so big anymore. And I used to say, um, fear only lasts like 30 seconds, but regret is endless. So you could ask yourself, is,
I think I posted that on my platform as well a few weeks back.
oh,
That quote came
really?
to me as well. I thought about that because, yeah, and regret never leaves you. Regret,
No.
because I've seen that with my grandparents. I've seen that with my family, my relatives. Regret is something that you die with. Yeah,
Yeah, what if this was your last day on Earth?
it eats your soul. Regret.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so for example, if this was your last day on Earth, what would you do, or what would you really wanted to have done or said, or um, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm becoming more aware of that
Mm.
because we never know how much time we have left.
Yeah, life is so fragile.
Yeah, and people also forget to um, enjoy the little things that in the end are actually big things. For example, my aunt called me on Easter asking me if I was able to come down because she found me some pictures of our grandparents. And I never knew them, but I wanted to know a little bit more because I'm the youngest in the family, but I wanted to know more. So I don't know, maybe I felt like I'm more into the family or more know where things are coming from. And so I went there Tuesday, and I had such a great time because I was there until 1 o'clock, I think. So I was there with my aunt and my uncle. They were in their 80s, and we shared a lot of stories. I actually shared the story that the guy actually let me down, blah blah blah. I even shared that. I don't know why, but it suddenly came.
I think you needed to get it out of your
I
system.
think so,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. And but the thing is, when I got home or when I drove home, I was so happy, but inside I felt so grateful and so happy because I was able to share with my aunt and my uncle, and my aunt showed me the pictures. I saw pictures of my grandparents, and my aunt said the same thing as me, saying, "Oh my God, they were so in love." And
Oh,
it was so great to see that. And on
yeah.
one picture, you could see that they were having so much fun.
Priceless, yeah.
It was priceless. And you know what? The amount of fun and the amount of enjoyment is always on you. You
Mm-hmm.
decide how much fun you're going to have or how much you're going to enjoy what you do. And even the tasks that you don't like can become more fun if you do it with either people that you really like or change your mind about it.
Mm-hmm.
Only
I
people
mean,
forget.
it's the same thing like you said earlier. How do you define success? Yeah,
Yeah.
and all of us define success differently. But I think in general, many people define success as the amount of zeros they have in their bank account,
Yeah,
which
well, the zeros don't
which
ma-
is
the
which is
zeros
really
don't
sad.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the zeros don't matter. It depends what you have in front of the zero.
No, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And I remember my life coach Peter Sage. He said to us once, we were in this business thing seminar, and he says some people are so poor that the only thing they have in life is money.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I thought that was brilliant because people need to wake up and realize that the amount you have in your bank does not define how successful you are. That is just society's conditioning.
Exactly. I mean, success could mean, okay, if I look at it from my life as an example, I think I never imagined getting this far in life and doing the things that I do. I mean, my biggest fear was becoming visible and getting seen and talk and blah blah blah. So what did I do? The exact opposite. I went to do stand-up comedy. Huh? It totally changed my life.
Yeah,
And
you completely got out of your comfort zone,
exactly,
Sandra, from that day of being on stage that you were so scared to being on stage now 2 to 3 times a week.
exactly. And I used to be crying the whole day because I was so scared because people would look at me. What if I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get out of my words? What if they wouldn't laugh? Or what if they, I don't know, I
Yeah,
had all this bullshit.
yeah, we get that all the time. That is us, beating
Yeah,
ourselves up because, we don't feel that we're good enough.
exactly. And that's when my dad gave me the shortest advice ever, and I will never forget it. I was in New York and I had a meeting with the most famous comedy coach of the US. And I arranged it, blah, 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 and I was so excited, but I got scared. So scared. I was crying and crying. And then I thought, okay, I need to go there now. So I called my dad and I tried not to let him know that I was so upset and crying. But of course, I'm his baby
Yeah,
girl, so he knew. And I said, and all I said was, yeah, but I'm scared. What if they don't laugh? And you know what he said? He said, so what? And I went like, huh? What?
yeah.
I
So what?
immediately snapped out,
Yeah,
and then I thought, yeah, so what? And I was putting myself in such difficulty, making it so hard for myself. But hey, there is no one I knew in New York. Yeah, a friend, but he was not coming to one of the gigs. But they didn't know me, so I could just walk out if they didn't like me. But it never happened. So we are afraid of what could happen, but we are afraid of the things that most of the time don't even happen.
yeah.
So,
This is like the monster under our bed, the monsters in our
yeah.
closet, as a kid. And then you look under the bed, there's actually nothing there. Or in the closet, no, it's not there.
Oh, you decide whether you're the monster yourself or not.
Yeah. I mean, Sandra, I totally understand because that was the same for me as
Yeah.
well. When I started filming my videos, I didn't even think I was going to film it. I didn't even plan on opening the platform on Instagram, and nothing came to mind. One day, I had a shower and all, got out of the shower. Something just told me, actually, it was my spirit team, my angel said, okay, you're going to start filming now. I'm like, huh? What do you mean filming? Okay, take your camera out now. And then straight away, everything was just channeled through, and boom, straight away immediately opened the Instagram account, signed up, everything and all. Within that less than half an hour, posted my first video and all. And then after it was done, and I was like, what the hell did I just do? And then everything came in because I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think? What if they don't like me? What if I'm talking rubbish? And everything came in. But before that, it felt like I was hypnotized. It felt like something just took over me.
Yeah, I
And that
remember.
always happens. Yeah, and that always happens when I film a video. Something just takes over me. And then I have to watch the video again because I don't even know sometimes what did I speak about.
I remember when I first met you in the UK. I think it was at the Queens in Business event, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you never spoke at before that.
No, not at all. I was never
I came
on
off the
social
stage.
media.
I came off the stage, and then you came to me, right? Because
I,
that was the first time that I spoke and on a stage about my ex-partner and what happened, and in English. So
oh yeah,
it was
yeah.
like it wasn't normal excitement. No, it was a total panic attack. I mean, but I had these great people there, you among of that. But then I think after the Queens in Business, I think you signed up for Jason's training, and I did. I was going to do
Yeah,
that as well.
that was another hypnotic thing. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell? Did I just sign up for public speaking? No way.
yeah. And then we met at that event, and
Yeah,
we
we did the
started talking
3 day
again.
thing, right?
And you said, "No, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not doing that. I never spoke. No, I'm not gonna." I said, "I think you'll be good at it."
No, and
And
you know
look
what?
at you now.
No, but remember Justin called me up on stage and I froze?
Did you?
Yeah, yeah, I think it was the first day or the second day. We were all just in the audience
Oh,
talking, and
yeah.
then he just pointed at me. What is your message? What do you want to share? And I went like, up, what? And you
I
pulled
was
me up.
sleeping. Leave me alone.
You slept for a bit after lunch. And
Oh,
I
that was
froze. I was like, oh. And he's like, now tell them your message. What do you want to say to the audience?
yeah. But can you see that is only in not that's not even five
Yeah.
years. I think it's
I
four.
think
4 years.
that was 4 years.
2021.
2021. Yeah.
Because 2020 I went to the UK first. And no, it's even later because in 2021 was the first Queens in Business award ceremony.
Yeah, that's the
That's
one
when I got the
you
first
spoke
award.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So your journey is then starting at the public speaking thing, which was like February or something
No,
in
but before
2023.
that, no, that was 2022 because 2021 I already
Yeah,
started my videos on Instagram.
yeah. And I didn't know,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware, and suddenly I see you light up everywhere with all these videos. And I thought, what the hell is going on? And I texted you saying, what have you been doing? I thought you were on drugs.
High on life.
Yeah, but then, and then I think it kind of, we didn't speak for a lot for a while. And then suddenly you're in Malaysia. You moved back and all your life has turned upside down. So can you see how much changes you made along the way? It's so
Yeah,
awesome.
within 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we both wrote a book as well, a chapter in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Bestseller.
No, I mean, why we're sharing these stories, I think, for the audience is to see how fast things can just shift when you just take that first step. And
Yes.
I always believe that the universe makes this path here. And the minute you take one step, the universe takes 10 steps for you. Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
will just see things open up. As long as it is aligned with your path, you're going to see things open up. When it's not aligned, you will see that it's not working out, you know? And I think that we all get in our own way and we need to take that first step. That's all. Just that first step.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's what stops us is we think of the whole process, right? No. Because things are
Yeah.
not going to turn out the way you plan. It never, almost 100%, I would say it will never turn out the way you plan on reaching your goal because the universe always has a better way for you to reach your goal, right?
Yeah.
And but if you just take that one step, the next steps will be taken and shown to you as well.
Yeah. How I did it at first is that I kind of imagined that it looked like a dance floor of Saturday Night Fever. And you just take the first step, which then the dance floor lights up. So you're on the next style, and then you take another step, and it will light up and light up. So it's, yeah, kind of in between a dance floor of Grease and or Saturday Night Fever and Alice in Wonderland, if you get what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Try to, if people are more kinesthetic, depending on what your preferral is, but if you're visual, then imagine how it looks. If you more like feeling, if you're more, then see how it feels. If your preferral is hearing, see how it
Audio.
audio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one step at a time, you'll be surprised where you end up, honestly.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, I'm
I'm
giving this advice now, and I should be taking this advice as well, yeah? We both know that, right?
yeah.
And that's the
And,
reason
and
why they say that if you want to learn,
yeah.
teach, right?
Yeah, and advice is what you ask when you know the answer already, but you wish that you didn't.
Yeah. And then another thing I like to share here is that because I always do not want to leave out energy because everything is energy,
Yeah,
right? And so the minute we have an idea of doing something, don't bring the but in because the first thing you do by bringing the but in, you shift the energy. And when you shift the energy, it will not work in your favor. The energy is just going to respond to what you are giving out. So if you, let's say you want to start writing a book, right? And you go, oh, but I don't have a laptop, but I don't have the time. And you know, you come up with all these excuses that already pushes the energy away.
yeah,
So that idea that you have is already burning and going off. That's how energy works. But if you just say, my God, I'm going to write a book. I don't know how, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm going to be here to do it. Then you watch the energy shift.
Yeah.
And the universe makes space and time for you to actually sit and write that book, you know?
Yeah, because we are focused on problems,
Yeah.
and but if we don't focus on the problems, I try to change the word problems in challenges,
Mm-hmm.
because that makes it easier, because that makes it easier to look for a solution as well,
Mm-hmm.
because the solution is always there.
Mm-hmm.
You might not see it, but then you have to look from a different angle. And if you are able to see it as a challenge, it's just a hurdle. And your mindset will get more flexible. And once you train it, it's like a muscle. You need to train it. And if you
Mm-hmm.
train it, because it wouldn't be, how much fun would it be if you were just thinking, okay, I want to do this or that, and it will be a success immediately. That's no
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. You don't learn anything. It's what you become in the process
Yes.
of getting that goal. So that
If,
is why your goal has to be super, super huge that
yeah.
in your own human mind, you can't even believe that you're able to achieve it. That's how goals are supposed to be made, that you can't even freaking imagine how I'm going to get there. But you know what? This is the goal. And that's the journey that you take that builds your muscles up.
Yeah, and focus on the positive outcome instead of, oh, that won't work. Because most people are focused. Okay, they say, okay, I want to buy a Ferrari. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, but that's so much money. I don't even know what a Ferrari costs, by the way. But a lot probably. Let's say you want to buy a house, and the house is 1 million. Oh my God, I need to make 1 million euros or dollars, whatever. How am I going to do that? Because I only
See,
have like,
that's the negativity in the energy.
exactly. So if you think about, instead of saying, oh, I only have like $1,000 at the moment, if you do the same thing, but think, okay, I already got $1,000, so I'm getting closer. It is the same thing you're saying, only it's for your mindset, it makes the huge difference, and for the energy
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Only,
it's the same thing as seeing the glass half empty or half full, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and talking about negativity to get the audience to understand energy is that you have a bowl of water, right? And even if you put the tiniest drop of a red paint paint in it, it's gonna turn, even the tiniest drop is gonna turn the water to pink.
yeah,
It's not gonna be the same. And that's how energy works. When you put the tiniest doubt, it diminishes the whole idea. And to start off with, this idea, this seed is planted in us, this desire to get this goal is planted in us by divine, right? It's planted in
yeah,
us so that we because nothing will be given to us if we're not able to achieve it. So if it's within us, that means it is achievable,
yeah.
right?
If we can imagine it,
Yeah,
you create things twice. You
yeah,
create it in your mind first, and then in reality. And
yeah.
hey, yeah, maybe it might be a little bit big, but you know what? If the goal is too big, then start with something smaller first. I mean, if you start with something small first and you can
Just
see
start.
it work,
Just start.
yeah. But if you want to have some proof that it works, for as far as proof goes, then start with something smaller
Mm-hmm.
first, and then you will see, and then you take the next step and the next. And the best way to reach a goal is how I've learned it is, okay, the goal is big, so it's high up there. But that is the goal. And then if you put that on top of your piece of paper, for example, break down the steps and write down, what do I need to do in the next 5 years to get to the goal? What do I need to do this year to get to the goal? What do I then have to do in the 6 months? What do I have to do in the 3 months, in the month, in the 2 weeks, in a week, in a in a day. Break it down to small steps, because if you break it down to small steps, it's not so big anymore.
Small bites,
Yeah,
small chunks. Yeah, and it makes it so easy to do then than looking at the whole big chunk, right?
exactly.
And the other thing is that to add on is to be open, to not be so rigid that I want to only achieve it this way. No, the universe has a better plan, so just
Yeah,
flow with whatever comes. Try to be open and not so rigid towards the path that you're being guided on, that you're being shown.
yeah. Like I said with that guy, I think I said to you as well. I don't like it, but it's probably the universe protecting me, and they've got a better plan for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Rejection is God's protection.
yeah,
I
exactly.
always believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, so, oh, and wasn't there a story that you wanted to share? We had such a laugh this week.
What story was this?
Yeah, with the photo. What happened?
Oh my God. But how does that connect to
Yeah,
this?
I don't remember. You made a connection with it, but it was so funny. Oh my goodness.
So it doesn't connect to what we're saying now. The
No, I
audience is
don't.
going to be like, huh? Why is she coming up with her own story
Yeah,
now?
it is yeah, but you connected it this week. I don't know how.
I can't remember. Oh, damn it. How did I
Yeah.
connect it? I can't. Oh,
Um, there's no connection, I think.
not now, not what we're talking. Yeah. And I
No.
completely forgot about that. Oh, it must be good for you to remember.
Oh, it was so good. I had such a laugh. It was
Oh,
so
what
funny.
what happened?
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna put it in my comedy set somewhere because it's so funny. It's even worse than I am. You're even worse.
Oh, or maybe you want me to just say people are probably wondering then. They're laughing what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Either
Okay.
we share it
Yeah.
or we just stop talking about it.
No, I think what happened was we were talking about pickup lines, and I was telling you the two best pickup lines that I had from men, which I still remember till today.
Uh-huh.
And then it came into where I was out with my friends, and then one of the guys recognized one of my friends, and he came over, but he just said hi to my friend, and he ended up speaking to me. And then he found out that I was a ex cabin crew, and he's an ex cabin crew. He got all excited, and then he brought out his picture to show me, "Hey, look, this is me when I was a cabin crew." And he was so proud of it. And I looked at the picture, and I looked at him, and I went like, "What happened?" And his face was priceless because I think he expected me to say, "Oh my God, you're so good looking," whatever. But I was like, "What happened?" Because I looked at the before and the after, and he left. He never came back.
You know,
And
this,
then my friends asked me, "What happened?"
most, but the saying is that men become more handsome when they grow older. Well, not everyone. It
Not
doesn't go
every,
with. I had this
not
guy.
everyone is fine wine.
No, I know. I had this guy on a dating app, and he texted me blah blah blah. I said, "Well, I don't think you're really my type." He said, "Oh, doesn't matter. I can change. I mean, my profile is not correct anyway." I'm going like, "What?" And then and then there was a similar thing with like you with a picture, and I'm thinking that picture is not really recent. So I ask, what is that picture recent, or do you have a recent picture of you? And he sends me a recent picture. which looks totally different. And I said, "Wow, it looks like your muscles went down anyway."
No, you should have asked again what happened.
Yeah, I said, but I didn't come up with that. I just said, "Oh, it looks like your muscles went down the drain." Oh my. And the conversation was over right after that. That's how you can get rid of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, this guy
Okay.
is also just annoying, and and
Yeah.
I hate it when men are so full of themselves, and
But
I
there are
for me
women.
it's a major turn off. Like
Yeah, but there are women doing the same thing, right? I mean,
women, I can understand because women in general, the feminine energy, they're very vain. Feminine energy is all about the softness, that vanity. But
yeah, but I
when
still don't like it. If
I
they are
know,
so, if
yeah,
the women are so full of themselves, hey, that's a turn off.
oh yeah, of course. I mean, I bet
I
you
don't think
80%
men
of the
like
women,
that.
80% actually of the women out there are so full of themselves. Honestly, in today's world, not only men, women, everyone is so full of themselves because everyone's
Hmm.
so worried about how they look and how they seem to everyone else, and yet everyone else is worried about themselves. Nobody's looking.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing. Well, anyway, is there anything else that we need to discuss? I think we pretty much got it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we welcome questions if there's any questions. But I think to sum it all up is,
But, but, stop the word but,
but yeah, yeah, take that out of your vocabulary. But I
and
think at
have
the end of
to.
the day, it is your why. Yeah, your why has to be big because if you have a goal or a desire that you are not getting off your ass to get it achieved or to fulfill it, then your why is not big enough. And then it also means that that is not your destined goal or desire.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is not. Your why must be so big that you get off your ass to do it. Then you know that, okay, this is something big. This is something that is not achievable because the why is so big. And for those audience out there who are wondering what does she mean by the why, so when I say the why, I mean why are you doing this? For example, I want to buy a house. Okay, so the why is not because I want the house. The why is so that my family has a home, my family has a roof over their head. That should be your why, not money, not nothing. So when your why is so big, when you focus on, I want to give my family a home instead of I want to buy a home and look good or whatever, that's not a why. If your why is so meaningful that I want to buy a home because I want to get a home, I want to give my family a home. Sorry, I'm confusing now. I want to give my family a home, and that why is so big that nothing will stop you. So think about your why before you think about your goals. Ask
yeah,
yourself, why am I doing this? Why do I want this? Yeah.
yeah. Why
And
do
if
you do the
that,
things?
yeah.
Yeah,
So that is what I mean by your why. Your why has to be big and it hits the spot in your heart that nothing stops you. I mean, you just go. You just go and you don't know how you're going to do it. How you know a goal is going to be achieved when your why is so big and you don't know how you're going to do it. That's where you know you're going to get your goal. That's the irony of life, the irony, the magic, of the energy of the universe. Because if you know how you're going to get there, you know all the answers, then that is not your destined or your fated path. It's not, because your destined or fated path, you wouldn't know how to get there. You have an idea. The ego will try to, that's why I said not to be rigid, right? So the ego will try to to tell you, oh no, we're gonna do it this way and that way and all. But no, the more you don't know how you're gonna get there, and it's so big, then you know it's yours. What are you laughing at?
It looks. It sounds like I'm watching a preacher.
Oh, that sounds so serious.
No, it's like I just saw myself going, "Oh, happy day."
Do you want to start singing now? Should we start singing?
Oh, if you want to.
We can do Kumbaya. Since I've
I
got this
don't know.
bandana on and all, we can do
You look
Kumbaya.
you look a little like a hippie.
Yeah, that's what I said. So
Yeah.
you do Kumbaya. Go and Google the song if you don't know Kumbaya.
You can. Yeah, like "Hey." Maybe you need to smoke some pot.
It's been a while, yeah. I lost all that privilege when I left the Netherlands.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have anything you want to add on?
Not really at the moment. If people have any questions or if they want to talk to us, they know how to reach us via our socials. If they have questions that they want to ask about this topic or any other topic, please send them in. If you want to have a certain topic that you want us to talk about, please let us know so we can do that. What else? We'll be there next month on probably Saturday again. Last Saturday of the month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think I'm not sure that's in the date for May. Yeah, last
31st.
is it 31st?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's the 31st.
Okay. And also
So, yeah.
enjoy the new moon today, new moon in Taurus.
Oh, right. Is that a good one?
It's always good when it's a new or full moon. It just affects us differently. I'm so badly affected by it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then I wish you a good evening because it's evening with you already.
Thank you. And
And
I wish you a good day.
thank you.
And
I'm gonna go to my crafty projects
have fun.
and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, and thank you to all our audience, and we'll see you
Yes.
soon.
Okay then. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
And now I don't know how to stop.